So g'day everybody, it's Scott Poynton here and welcome to another Cooee podcast. And I'm with Vince Taylor of Vince Taylor Logging. How are you, Vince?
Doing well.
Doing well. You keeping busy today?
Yes, sir, I am.
Looks like we were just off your operation. See the trucks are in, bringing some wood onto the trucks and the machine's there. Tell us about your work. Tell us about Vince Taylor Logging.
Vince Taylor Logging is a company I started 2 years and 3 months ago. We do contract work for my mother company, which I would call East Carolina Timber LLC. East Carolina Timber purchases the tracts of timber from landowners, TMOs, different investment groups. Vince Taylor Logging is contracted through East Carolina Timber to harvest the tracts of timber.
Okay, so tell me what you do with your day. What does it involve being in charge of the logging operations here?
My day is pretty much confined to this truck. I have a very good foreman that works with my logging crew. And also have a very good crew individually. Everyone on the crew knows their job. Everyone does it every day. And I'm from the mentality that I don't want somebody over top of me all day long. I give these guys free rein. They've been in the logging industry probably longer than I have. They know what to do. I set up the tracks by flagging the tracks, printing out maps of tracks, coordinating which mills the forest products will be delivered to.
Where do you typically sell the wood to, mate?
We sell, it's a variety of places. Obviously, we sell to Enviva. We sell to Domtar here in Plymouth, North Carolina. And as I mentioned earlier, on this track we're cutting now, we have Mackey's Ferry Sawmill, which is a hardwood saw timber purchasing mill. They are about 5 miles down the road. Weyerhaeuser Company here in Plymouth and in New Bern. Georgia Pacific at Dudley, North Carolina, and Emporia, Virginia. West Fraser, which is in Seaboard, North Carolina. Lampe and Malfa Sawmill, which is a pine saw log mill in Smithfield, North Carolina. Josie Lumber Company, which is in Scotland Neck. Off the top of my head, that is where the majority of these products are going. And that is those markets I listed, or named rather, they are where we send the majority of our forest products.
So how did you get to this one? How old are you, Vince?
I am 41, just turned 41 in February.
41. And how did you get into this industry? I mean, what's your story? Are you from here?
Yes, I am.
Tell me about your life to this point.
I'm from the Williamston Beargrass area original in Martin County. My grandfather logged and purchased timber. Of course, he was born in 1919 and passed away in 1990. He logged up until the latter part of his life. Then the remainder of his years, he was brokering wood, so to speak. He was finding tracts of timber for different guys that he had worked with over the years. And me and my grandfather, we were virtually inseparable, even though, of course, that's not speaking ill of my father.
Right.
It's just I had a little bit tighter relationship with my grandfather. And I actually lived with him just about all summer. I would work with him in the summers, and I was just really attracted to the woods product industry from him. And upon completing high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I had, aside from my grandfather, because he passed away when I was 14, I worked on the farm, tending tobacco, cotton, soybean, peanuts. But when I got out of school, I attended a couple of community colleges, not knowing which direction the wind would blow me, and I landed back in the forestry industry. I went to a 2-year institute in Goldsboro, North Carolina, Wayne Community College, attained a two-year degree, two-year technical degree in forest management technology. Started working for a forest products company, cruising or evaluating the value of timber. Did that probably 6 days a week.
Out in the forest every day?
In the forest every day, from 7 in the morning to 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon every day.
Enjoy that?
Yes, I did. But I wanted, being that's all I did, that's all I experienced was cruising timber or estimating the volume of timber. And I wanted to branch out a little more. And back in 2007, 2008, when the housing market crashed, there was virtually any timber at all for sale in eastern North Carolina. Everything clammed up because of the price cuts at the mills. And I started doing some individual contract work for different individual loggers far as evaluating timber. And I just decided when the market started picking up back in late 2010, 2011, I decided to pursue my own interest and therefore started East Carolina Timber, the timber purchasing company. And I also have another contract logger, Cooee Brothers Logging, out of Pinetown, North Carolina. He's been with me. He's still with me helping harvest tracts. And he's been with me since day one, which was January of 2011 for East Carolina Timber. The reason I added my crew 2 years and 3 months ago was the wood product industry around here was quote unquote booming. Everybody was begging for wood. These pine sawmills, they couldn't keep enough wood to produce the lumber. And I decided to start my own logging venture. I said, I can pretty much, aside from quota, and of course we're on a pretty significant quota right now, which limits us to how the number of loads we can carry to each mill, and practically every mill is on quota at this point. But with me purchasing my own timber, I could really dictate or forecast my own future because I'm cutting my tracts that I purchased. Whether starting the logging business was a good thing or bad thing.
So, having come out of high school and not really knowing what to do, you're now an entrepreneur.
Right.
You're doing your own business.
Yes, sir.
Enjoying it?
Yes, I am. And I'm basically a one-man show. My wife, who is a godsend, she helps me. She actually still works full-time.
Does she? Yeah, what does she do, mate?
She is a pharmacist.
Okay.
Yep, she works at Mast Pharmacy here in Williamston, North Carolina. Great girl.
Where did you meet her?
We actually grew up maybe 4 or 5 miles down the road from each other,
Is that right?
but never really knew each other.
Right.
But met her a couple of years out of high school. When I first got out of high school, I went to work down here. It was instead of having the pulp mill and the sawmill split like it is now, Weyerhaeuser owned the pulp facility and the sawmill. Now Weyerhaeuser only owns the sawmill because they sold out of the fine paper products in when Domtar purchased it. But anyway, I worked on the paper machine end of Weyerhaeuser for 2 years. I saved up enough money to continue my education. And I actually met her at a little hometown club, bar / restaurant, Deadwood in Beargrass, which is world renowned now. But and anyway, we rode off into the sunset, so to speak.
Love at first sight?
Yeah. Well, on my end, yes. I don't know about her. So.
Any kids, mate?
Yes, sir. I have 2 kids. I have Braden, who is 11-year-old boy, and another son, Eason, who is 7.
Okay.
Braden is an excellent student, which I am very fortunate for. Enjoys sports, cares nothing about the wood products industry. Right. My younger son, who is 7, he is a decent student also, but he is absolutely infatuated with the woods.
He loves what you do.
He loves it.
That's great.
He loves it.
What do you guys do in your spare time? Do you get out into the forest?
Oh, yes. Yep. I enjoy running equipment when these guys aren't running equipment on the job. You know, if we've got a track that is not as heavily stocked as others and we need to run both cutters, I'll come out here on the weekends and run the rubber tire cutter myself. And most of the time I'll bring him along with me and allow him to ride in the cab with me.
And feel the equipment and get
That's
to know
right.
it. Okay, so he might be taking over the business.
I don't know.
See what happens.
Yeah, see what happens.
What inspires you, mate? What do you, what gets you out of bed in the morning?
Have to. I mean, it's, I know that's kind of cliche, I guess, but, I have to go. I have to go to work. I have to keep producing. That's the number one goal and number one thing that we have to achieve every day is to produce, because if you do not produce in this industry, you will be bankrupt.
Right. You just got to keep going.
You got to keep going.
Similar sort of question, but what's the one thing in your life, if you look back or even today, that gives you joy? What really brings joy for you? My
kids.
Yeah.
Kids. And I by no means came from a wealthy family. My mother still works. Father, he just retired a couple years ago. But, everything I've done, and I'm by no means, quote unquote, tooting my own horn, I've done by my own accord. I have an excellent bank that I work with. Well, I actually work with two, BB&T and First South Bank, both located in Williamston, and they help me from the ground up.
Help finance your purchases of your equipment and things like that.
Yep. Also work with First Citizens, forgot to mention them, but they had 100% trust in me. I pay my bills like I should, and I mean, I'm proud of that. I know there's a lot of folks who struggle, and there's a lot of folks who struggle in our industry. And at times, it's just like now. We've had a couple of mill closures, and it's tough. I've got several $1,000s in timber that I cannot harvest right now because I bought it at a certain price, and the mills are not buying that product right now. So I've got to sit there and hold it.
Hold it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Bit tough.
Yes, it is. Very tough.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the other way. What do you think has brought you your greatest disappointment in life?
Oh, well, and I guess it's kind of talking out of both sides of my mouth. But if I would have known how much is entailed in a logging job, I would have not started one. And that's not. And that's kind of everything wrapped up in this one big present. You've got insurance, you've got guidelines you had to abide by, quota, milk. There's so much that is out of my control that controls my logging job. And it's, you're constantly getting blindsided. And, especially with the situation we're in now with the just a really confining quota. I'm on the phone virtually all day if we start getting close on our loads, trying to find a few more loads here, a few more loads there, just to be able to make it through another day. But like I said, I really wouldn't hang the word disappointment on it. It's just been a very humbling and numbing experience. But far as, I don't know, I really can't say one thing about being disappointed. Just the fact of everything, just not, even though I was in the forest industry before I started the logging job, all the hidden factors, you cannot, on a spreadsheet, I don't care what kind of economist you are, you can't plan for the major breakdowns. You can't plan for the unforeseen downtime. There is not a dollar figure that you can apply to that.
It's a pretty stressful job.
Right. Oh, it is, no doubt.
Do you regret getting into the logging side of it? Do you wish you had stayed with timber buying?
Well, it would have made half my life easier, but I now have the peace of mind. That's just in case Cahoon Brothers, Ronnie Cahoon, who I mentioned earlier, if he decides he wants to do his own thing as far as the timber purchasing, or decides that he needs to go elsewhere because he thinks it's a better opportunity, I still can harvest my wood at accordingly, and so that is the mainstay. That's what keeps me in tune, keeps me going.
What about the future? I mean, what hopes do you have for the future, mate?
Well, hope to continue doing what I'm doing. Hopefully, to succeed by continuing to do what we're doing, making the payments, paying the tracks back that we've cut. I hope I can set a good example for my kids. Show them right from wrong. And I think, or I hope that, the housing market, lumber sales are just about through the roof right now here in eastern North Carolina, in the eastern United States. But we have such an oversupply of loggers now that it's really not doing nothing to our delivered price because simple supply and demand. But I'm hoping we have several mills. Klausner from Germany, which has built the mill in Enfield, that has not opened. That's going to be a big opportunity there because they buy the same product as Weyerhaeuser Plymouth, Weyerhaeuser New Bern, and West Fraser. They're in Seaboard, so we'll have a different opportunity. We've had several mills here, as I mentioned earlier, close, and the main thing they were building were mats, dragline mats, what I call them, for some of these oil pipelines. Well, some of that was shut down immediately, and now they're on the rebound, but they've not gone back to purchasing the mats yet. So I'm for the immediate future, I'm very optimistic. Even though we're in the situation we're in, and sometimes it's like beating my head against the window right here. But other than that, for the immediate future, I'm very optimistic. For the long-term future, I don't know.
You just got to keep going.
Just got to keep going.
Opposite question, you might have already answered it, but what do you worry about?
My worry is just here in eastern North Carolina, mill closures. Our industry getting bad press from different groups on what we do, continuing to be, it seems like they gain more momentum every year, trying to shut us down. Well, I'm not going to say shut us down, confine us. But, my worry is not everybody sees or knows what is entailed in our industry and how vital our industry is to the population.
Okay.
Yeah.
So last question, you're only pretty young, but when the day comes when you finally stop working and hang your boots up, what do you reckon you'll do?
I don't know. I enjoy hunting. Used to fish a lot when I was little. I had an uncle that carried me all the time, and I just do not have the time for it anymore.
Flat out.
And I enjoy fox hunting.
Okay.
Chasing fox with dogs. I raise walkers. And I told myself when my youngest son, which is 7, was born, I had just started East Carolina Timber, and I said, I just do not have the time for it anymore. And this year, I decided, I'm going to get back into dogs. That's what I enjoyed, and I'm going to enjoy them. Well, I've enjoyed them. I can count on that one hand how many times I've enjoyed them. So I'm looking forward to slowing down and enjoying what I enjoy to do and what my kids enjoy to do also, hopefully by then grandkids.
Yeah, by then grandkids. Now, a few more years to go of hard work, it seems.
Yes.
Keep your business going, but hopefully in time you can wind down a bit.
Yep.
Good on you. Well, listen, Vince, thanks very much for talking to me today.
Yes, sir. No problem.
I really appreciate it, and good luck with all of your business and all you're trying to do.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate.
Yes, sir.
You've been listening to Vince Taylor, Just Keep Going. Do listen to the other 10 podcasts in this Enviva Forest Industry People series. I'm Scott Poynton. Thanks for listening.